Welcome back to Old Charles, the channel where we explore the fascinating history and hidden value of world coins. Today, we're diving into the United Kingdom 5 new pence coin from 1971, a small but historically important coin that carries a big story. If you've ever wondered whether those old 5p coins in your drawer could be worth something today, stick around, because we're going to cover its history, design, condition, and collector's value in detail. To understand the 1971 5 new pence coin, we need to go back to one of the biggest changes in British currency history: decimalisation. Before 1971, the UK used a system based on pounds, shillings, and pence, which had been around for centuries. The old system was complicated. 1 pound was 20 shillings, and each shilling was 12 pence, making a total of 240 pence in a pound. In 1971, the UK officially switched to the decimal system, simplifying everything. Now, 1 pound was divided into 100 new pence. To help with the transition, the Royal Mint had already introduced some decimal coins early, and the 5 new pence was one of them. Interestingly, the 5 new pence coin was first issued in 1968, even before Decimalisation Day in 1971. It replaced the older 1 shilling coin, and they were made the same size so people could use them interchangeably. The 1971 issue was the first official year that the 5 new pence became fully part of the new decimal system, making it historically significant. This was also the very first year when all coins in circulation were decimal-based only. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the obverse side, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This design shows the young queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This portrait was used on coins from 1968 all the way to 1984. On the reverse side, the 5 new pence coin features the badge of Scotland, which is a crown thistle, a symbol of Scotland's history and pride. This design was created by Christopher Ironside, the famous British coin designer responsible for many of the decimal coin motifs. The coin was made of cupronickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance. It weighed 5.65 grams and measured 23.59 millimeters in diameter. This size remained until 1990, when the 5p coin was reduced in size to the smaller version we use today. The 1971 5 new pence coin was minted in very large numbers for circulation. Millions were produced to ensure the public had enough coins after decimalisation. Because of this high mintage, most examples are still very common today. However, what makes coins collectible isn't just rarity, it's also historical importance. The 1971 5p represents the first year of the new decimal-only system, making it a coin many collectors like to keep in their sets. Over the years, many of these coins have been withdrawn from circulation, especially after the 1990 size reduction, which means fewer of them are seen in everyday use today. Now, the question you've all been waiting for: how much is the 1971 UK 5 new pence coin worth today in circulated condition? The value is usually modest, around 10 to 50 pence to collectors, depending on wear and demand. Because so many were made, worn coins generally don't fetch a high price. But if you have a coin in uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated condition, it can be worth more, anywhere from £1 to £5. Coins that are still sealed in original mint sets or proof sets can fetch even higher values, sometimes up to £10 or more, depending on the collector's market. Of course, value can also depend on errors. If you ever find a misstruck coin, such as off-center designs, missing details, or unusual flaws, those can be worth significantly more to collectors. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. 1971 5 new pence in poor or fair condition, heavily scratched, worn, or corroded, is generally only worth its face value to collectors, and fine to very fine condition, with clear details but somewhere, you might get around 20 to 30 pence in extremely fine condition. Where most details are sharp and only slight signs of circulation are visible, the value goes up to around £1 or more. Finally, in uncirculated or mint state condition ***, with no signs of wear and strong luster, you're looking at £2 to £5, and even higher if graded professionally by services like NGC or PCGS. So, to sum it all up, the 1971 UK 5 new pence coin may not make you rich overnight, but it is a piece of British history worth holding on to. As the first official year of the decimal-only system, it represents a turning point in the UK's monetary history. If you've got one in great condition, especially from a mint or proof set, it's definitely worth more than its face value. And for collectors, it's a must-have coin in any British decimal collection. We're going deep into the fascinating story of the 1971 United Kingdom 5 new pence coin, one of the very first official decimal coins of Britain. We'll cover its long history, detailed design, condition factors, and its collector's value today. Stick around, because this tiny coin has an incredible story to tell. To really understand the 5 new pence coin of 1971, we must take a journey back through British monetary history, because this coin wasn't just a piece of change, it was a symbol of transformation for centuries. Britain used the non-decimal system of pounds, shillings, and pence. This system was deeply rooted in medieval history. 1 pound equaled 20 shillings, and each shilling was worth 12 pence. That meant there were 240 pence in a single pound. While it worked for centuries, by the 20th century, the system had become outdated, complicated, and difficult for trade in a modern economy. As early as the 1820s, people in Britain debated whether the country should move to a decimal system like France or the United States, which had simpler calculations. But Britain, proud of its traditions, held on to the old system much longer than most countries. The idea gained momentum again in the 20th century, especially after World War II, when international trade and banking demanded more practical systems. The government began to explore decimalization seriously in the 1960s. Finally, in 1966, the British government announced that the currency would officially change to a decimal system. This was one of the biggest reforms in modern British financial history. A decimal currency board was established to guide the transition, and in 1968, the first decimal coins, including the 5 new pence and 10 new pence, were introduced into circulation before Decimalization Day, to help the public adjust. Then came the historic day itself, 15th February 1971, also known as Decimal Day. On this day, the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence was officially replaced by the new decimal system. The old shilling, which had been part of British money since the reign of Henry VII in the late 15th century, was retired and replaced by the 5 new pence. This is why the 1971 issue of the 5 new pence coin is so important. It was the first year when the coin was fully integrated as part of the new system. It marked the end of an era and the beginning of a modern age in British money. The design of the 1971 5 new pence coin was both symbolic and practical. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait, used from 1968 to 1984, shows a youthful queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This was chosen to give a modern, approachable image of the monarchy during a period of national change. On the reverse side, Christopher Ironside's design featured the badge of Scotland, showing a crown thistle, a national emblem of strength and resilience. This wasn't just decorative, it was part of a broader plan to represent all parts of the United Kingdom through decimal coin designs. Made of cupronickel, the coin had a bright silver-like finish. Its size and weight, 23.59 millimeters in diameter and 5.65 grams, matched the old shilling, which made it easier for the public to transition without confusion. People could still use the new 5p in old shilling machines, like parking meters, without difficulty. The 1971 5 new pence was struck in massive quantities. Tens of millions were minted to ensure a smooth introduction of the decimal system. 4 years, it circulated widely across the UK. But in 1990, a big change happened again. To save metal and modernize the currency, the 5p coin was reduced in size. The older, larger 5 new pence coins, including the 1971 issue, were gradually withdrawn from circulation. This makes them a nostalgic coin today. While not rare, their association with the historic decimalization event gives them a permanent place in British numismatic collections. So there you have it, the 1971 United Kingdom 5 new pence coin. A coin born during one of the most important changes in British currency history, Decimal Day. While it may not make you a millionaire, it remains an affordable yet fascinating piece of history that every collector should own. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most important things to understand is condition. The condition of a coin can turn a common piece of change into a prized collectible, or reduce a historic coin to just its face value. The 1971 5 new pence coin is a perfect example. Since millions of them were minted, the real difference in their market value today lies in how well they have been preserved over the last 50-plus years. Collectors and dealers use something called the coin grading scale to judge condition. This system ranges from the lowest grade, coins that are nearly unrecognizable, to the highest grade, where the coin looks as fresh as the day it left the mint. The grading terms you'll often hear include poor, fair, good, very good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated, and mint state. Each grade represents not just the appearance of the coin, but also its potential value to collectors. In this condition, the coin is heavily worn. The Queen's portrait on the obverse will be flat, and the crown on the thistle design may be almost invisible. Edges are often smooth, and sometimes the date is barely readable. These coins usually carry only face value, with little collector interest. Here, the coin still shows significant wear, but major details are visible. On the obverse, you can still see the outline of the queen's tiara and her facial profile, though details are faint. On the reverse, the thistle's outline is clear, but fine details are missing. These coins might sell for just a few pennies above face value. Coins in this grade have more visible details. The queen's hairlines begin to show, and the lettering around the coin is sharp. The thistle design on the reverse is recognizable, with partial crown details still intact. This is where a coin begins to become interesting to collectors, and value may rise slightly, around 20 to 50 pence. In this condition, the coin shows only light wear. The queen's portrait has sharp details, and you can clearly see the tiara's decorations. On the reverse, the thistle petals, leaves, and the crown are sharp, with only minor flattening on the highest points. Coins in this grade can be worth around £1 or more. These coins have very minimal wear, often seen only under magnification. They may have spent a short time in circulation but retain nearly all their mint luster. The details of both sides are crisp and sharp. Collectors are often willing to pay a premium for coins in this condition, typically £2 to £4. This is the top grade, reserved for coins that were never used in circulation. These coins show no signs of wear at all. They may have tiny bag marks from the minting process, but otherwise, they are pristine. Mint state examples of the 1971 5 new pence are usually found in brilliant uncirculated sets or proof sets. These can be worth £5 or even more, depending on market demand and whether they've been professionally graded. Besides grading, several other factors influence the condition and therefore the value of the 1971 5 new pence coin. 1. Toning asterisk over time. Coins can develop a natural patina or color change due to oxidation. Attractive toning can sometimes increase a coin's desirability, while unattractive or blotchy toning may decrease it. 2. Scratches and damage asterisk. Coins that were cleaned, scratched, or damaged by being carried in pockets, purses, or jars lose value, even if they look shiny. Collectors prefer coins in original, untouched condition. 3. Storage asterisk. Coins kept in protective cases, albums, or proof sets usually remain in high grades. Those stored loosely often suffer nicks, dents, or tarnish. 4. Proof versus circulation strikes asterisk. Proof coins, made with special dies and polished planchets for collectors, have a mirror-like finish and are far more valuable than circulation strikes of the same year. A proof 1971 5 new pence in pristine condition can sell for £10 or higher. Condition matters because collectors are often searching for the best preserved examples of a coin. While millions of 1971 5 new pence coins exist, only a small fraction remain in uncirculated or proof condition. Those are the coins that truly attract attention and can command higher prices. A heavily worn coin tells the story of everyday use in Britain after decimal day. But a brilliant uncirculated coin, untouched for over 50 years, is a time capsule, a perfect example of Britain's transition into the modern decimal age. So, whether you find a 1971 5 new pence coin in an old wallet, a coin jar, or a mint set, always check the condition carefully. The difference between a coin worth just a few pence and one worth several pounds can be the sharpness of the Queen's portrait, the clarity of the thistle design, and whether the coin still carries its original shine.